Today, I'm breaking down the most substantial part of my trading journal, my notes. This is where I capture my progress, thoughts, emotions, mistakes, and my best setups. Every note is a snapshot of my state as a trader, how I planned the trade, how I felt that day, and what was going through my head while the trade was open. This is what helped me stop repeating the same mistakes and start recognizing what actually works. I built my journal around one simple rule. If I don't capture the thought in the moment, I will forget it. That's why I journal daily and note specific, critical trades. Let's start with the notebook page. By default, it shows my trade note, but I can switch to check the daily or custom notes as well. For trade notes, I can easily search by keywords or filter by a specific trading pair. For daily notes, I can filter by date. For example, if I want to review my October notes. Here they are. Inside the note, I have a full editor with lots of options to write, edit, and customize my notes. From this page, I can create all the 3 types of notes. To create a trade note, you find and select the specific trade you want to note. Or to create a daily note, you'll choose the trading day in mind. And there you have it. You can fill in your thoughts. And if you want to create a normal note, you just title it and you have a blank note to fill in. This is one way to create the notes. The other way is through their dedicated pages. For daily notes from the daily journal page and for a trade note, it can be created from the trade details of the trade we are analyzing. It doesn't matter if you create it from here or there. It's always synced, so anything edited will be updated in both places. I will demonstrate this later in the video for both. Let's create a trade note from my recent trades. It's quite simple. You find a trade. Inside the trade details, you can switch between the trade note and the chart. And this is where you fill your trade observations and ideas. Let's go back. I was waiting for a breakout in Bitcoin USD, and I executed a perfect breakout trade. I made about $150. It had clean support and resistance. Price broke through resistance, and I entered on the confirmation pullback. I wanted to remember this setup, so I created a note just for this trade. I wrote down the basics like the entry, exit, and duration, noted how I found the setup, how I mentally felt during the trade, and what I want to remember from this one. Most importantly, I saved screenshots of the setup. That way, I can visually remember and analyze it. Once I have multiple clean breakout trades, I'll compare the screenshots to burn that pattern into my brain. I tagged this trade as a breakout, so I can follow the stats of all my breakout trades. On the other hand, let's check one of my losing trades. I was momentum scalping Solana, and made a pretty clear mistake, which I only fully realized after writing the note. I wanted to understand what went wrong. Was it emotional? Was it the setup? Was I missing something obvious? After noting everything down, I realized a few things. I was not with a clear head. I was agitated even before sitting on my computer. I was trading very late, around 3 a.m. Liquidity had dropped as well. There was an initial trend with smaller momentum. I skipped some confirmation indicators, entered my trade, and a few minutes later my stop-loss order hit. Once I wrote it down, it became obvious. Wrong time, low volume, bad mental state. I'll have this note as a strong reminder, so I don't repeat the same mistake again. Now let's go to the daily journal. Whenever I want to create a new daily note, I choose my trading day and add a note. Simple and satisfying way to journal daily. To see it again, you just click View Note. On Wednesday, I had a great trading day, 2 winners with $350 profit. I wanted to understand why this day went so well. So I created a daily note. Inside it, I documented all my trades. The trading pairs, entries, time frames, setups, indicators, and exactly where my take profit and stop loss were set. I keep screenshots of the trade charts together with the setup. But more importantly, I wrote about my mindset, how focused and calm I was, and how disciplined my execution felt. A reminder I'll keep coming back to. Now let's look at a bad day where I lost $500. I had a really rough session. I was so disappointed that I didn't even have the energy to note that day. I slept it off. The next day with a clear head, I wrote everything down, which setups I used, what went wrong, and what caused the entire day to collapse. What I realized was pretty straightforward. Even after the first few losses, I was already mentally off. I started revenge trading, trying to make the money back. Terrible idea. I keep this note as a harsh reminder. If I wake up not feeling 100% ready, I should downsize or skip that day. I gathered all the screenshots from that day and saved them inside the note. When I review it now, I can clearly see what worked and what didn't. Whenever I feel stuck or unmotivated, I always come back to my best daily notes and remind myself what good trading looks like and try to repeat those behaviors. I also use the custom note, mostly for brainstorming. These are free-form notes with no constraints. I use them to write down ideas, hypotheses for new setups, trading pairs I want to try or maybe focus more on. I also write reminders and checklists, basically anything that doesn't belong to a specific trade or day. Here's an example of my note with the setups I'm working on. I throw ideas in here. Note what seems consistent, what doesn't work, and track how the idea evolves over time. It's still a work in progress, but this is how strategies are built. These notes turn my experience into data and my emotions into patterns. That's what made the biggest difference in my trading, how I went from blowing my accounts to being modestly profitable.